Okay, moving right along on the presentations, we have an award of recognition for Marcia Stein, Community Emergency Preparedness Commission Chairwoman. And it's my privilege to recognize and honor one of the city's dedicated volunteers. Marcia was appointed to serve to the Emergency Preparedness Commission in September 2012 and became chairwoman in March 2013. She has faithfully discharged those duties as chair since she began and is now passing the leadership on to one of the newer commissioners. We want to honor her today for 5 years of service as the chairwoman of the Commission. And Iris, would you like to join me down at the podium for the award?
I will, but if I can just say a few words about Marcia from up here, and then we'll join each other down there and present the award. Because there's so much that can be said about Marcia. I love singing her praises. I wish I could tell all the things that Marcia's involved with. It's almost impossible though. But Marcia, although she was not immediately the chairperson of the organization, the Emergency Preparedness Commission, as soon as she walked in the door, things started happening. Wonderful things started happening, and she seemed to take charge, and the next year she did become the chairperson. Marcia Stein is the ultimate walking, talking, emergency preparedness advertisement. She's like our city's own Energizer Bunny. She never stops. She's always looking for people that can be helpful. She's always looking for programs that she can institute. And as I say, she's always made wonderful things happen. I've always been interested in safety and preparedness. So when I came on the council and went to a few meetings, there were 5 commissioners. And they were going to be reducing it to 3, and they had 2 annual events, and I thought, now, this is something that really could be enhanced, and I know just the right person that can do it. And her name is Marcia Stein because she and her husband Rick had been block captains over at the Springs Country Club for many, many years. So she knew exactly what to do and how to do it. Soon after she came onto the commission, there was now 10 commissioners. We went from 1 emergency technical advisor to 3. We now have a medical advisor from Eisenhower. We have a technical advisor from the field of cyber tourism. And we have, of course, Dr. Dennis Maletti, who is the advisor and expert in a myriad of fields, and he's been on the commission for many, many years. I can't really tell you how many times Marcia would call me and say, wow, I was just at a luncheon, or I was at a meeting, or I was at a dinner, or I was in line at the market, and I met the greatest person who's really interested in emergency preparedness, and they're going to come to our next meeting, and maybe they would like to join our commission. So when I tell you that she is our walking advertisement, it's certainly nothing that has been understated. There's a lot of things that have taken place under Marcia's leadership. So many things have been instituted, and I can't list all of them, but there's certainly a couple that I would like to mention. First of all, there's been a lot of outreach programs that have been instituted. We have filmed emergency preparedness videos, and they're on our Rancho Mirage television. It's how to get prepared in your home. We came to my home, and I talked about all of the ways that I had become prepared. We went to Dennis Maletti's home, and not only did he talk about how to be prepared, but he talked about his 3 tents. He talked about his ice maker that he's waiting to use, and he talked about how to create the best cocktails, even in emergencies. We also went to a lady's home who opened up her home to us in a mobile home park, and she talked about what she does to get prepared. We have explored a lot of different areas. So the commission grew, the whole outreach program grew, Now we address earthquakes, we address fires, floods, chemical spills. We also address cyber terrorism and active shooters. Something very, very important, things that we never thought about in years past, but now have been brought really to the forefront and we have to address. We also promote CERT training. A lot of you have already been CERT trained, it's very important, but now we also have introduced BERT training with a capital B, because now that is training for businesses and their employees. The commissioners encourage our Map Your Neighborhood program, and we work with residents, and we've created, because of our wonderful commissioners, a very strong connection with our homeowner associations through our monthly radio drills, where all the commissioners participate, including Marcia Stein. And in fact, I'm coming to her house next Tuesday to help participate and also learn exactly all the details on how to do a radio drill. They do all kinds of events. They go to Sunnylands when they have an event there. They go to the Children's Museum. They visit homeowner associations when they're requested. They man booths at our art affair. And Marcia brought a couple, Bunny and Rick Ben Aaron, to introduce their children's program to the entire Coachella Valley and work with our commissioners. The commission put on, with Marcia's leadership, 2 1K walks called the Races to Be Ready. And Marcia was at the helm with that. It was a lot of work and everyone just pitched in, including our incredible staff members. It was a multi-pronged event and turned out to be very successful. And we have 2 latest projects which we are now working, and perhaps Pablo can put up on the screen one of our new prize projects, and this is a kiosk that is going to be at our library. And as you can see on the blank screen, we are going to be showing things that will encourage people to get prepared. It will encourage children if they see it, because it's going to be an ongoing loop of some of the destruction that has taken place because of earthquakes, and hopefully they'll bring their parents over to the kiosk so the parents can see it. There's a little test that's going to be on there so the parents can take the test and find out what they're doing right and maybe what they're doing wrong. And maybe they'll go home as a family and really try to work on getting prepared. The other thing that we're now going to be working on is the commissioners are now going to be filming their own commercials for emergency preparedness. We're going to be having them on Rancho Mirage television, and hopefully we're going to be having them soon at our library on the big screens. So when people come into the library to watch an event, while they're sitting there talking to their neighbors or just looking on their iPads, we'll have some things on the big screen where they can get a bit more educated about emergency preparedness. So, needless to say, this is the best commission we've ever had, with the greatest amount of dedication and commitment. And maybe there are so many members are here, maybe you could stand up and wave to the audience, and we can have you on television also, including Marcia's husband, Rick. Can you all stand? Thank you so much. Needless to say, Marcia is the board leader. She motivates, she encourages the commissioners. She tells them just keep on trucking, even when the residents and businesses lack great interest to get prepared. I have to say that it is not easy going around to all these businesses, knocking on the doors, because I did it with Marcia, and most of the commissioners have done it, saying, what can we do to help you get prepared? We are out there, we are making every effort, and sometimes it's a little bit discouraging, but we keep on trucking, and Marcia's at the helm. So, we're selling preparedness, we're selling protection, we're selling safety, and we're trying to sell it to everyone in Rancho Mirage and beyond. So I guess the bottom line is, just to make this a little bit longer, there is no one like Marcia Stein. She helps everyone everywhere. If you're having surgery, chances are she's going to be at the hospital with you. If you're going for therapy, chances are she'll drive you there. And if there's something good or worthwhile that needs to be done, Marcia Stein will find a way to do it. Encourage other people to follow in her footsteps. Marcia doesn't just ask others to do a job or get involved. She's right there beside you, doing what needs to be done. And then at the end of the season, she even has a thank you party at her home, just to let everyone know how valuable they are. And a special thanks goes to Rick, her husband, because for 6 years, he has encouraged Marcia and he has allowed her to do all that she has done for our wonderful city. Thank you.
Was that your brief message?
Unfortunately, I could go on and on and on.
Well, all these people out here have to go home sometime.
Okay. Well, that's why I left the last 30 pages at home.
Okay, well, would you like to join me at
I
the
will.
podium and we'll do
Okay.
the official award? Marcia, you look lovely today.
I look like I'm ready for an emergency.
Come on up here.
Fire truck, fire extinguisher.
And we have a special gift for you. For somebody it seems like has nothing to do most of the time. So this is certainly something that shares our love for everything you've done for the city. And, ours. Are we going to read this? I can't read it.
It says, presented to Marcia Stein for your 6 years of dedicated service as chairwoman of the Rancho Mirage Emergency Preparedness Commission, working to save lives throughout the Coachella Valley with heartfelt appreciation and gratitude. It's signed by the mayor and all the council members on this date.
And all of that is on 1 square inch of engraving. So Marcia, would you like to say a few words? A few words.
Just a few. First, I need to thank the city council, particularly Iris Smotrich, who has really been our leader, our supporter, always, at every event we ever have. It's amazing. It's really, obviously, something that you've taken to heart, and I so appreciate all your work and all your support. And then I have to say, when I started, it was just about earthquakes with Dr. Maletti. And now we're dealing with, as you know, many other things, unfortunately, like cyber terrorism, which when I first brought our cyber expert in, people were like, why? What are you bringing him in for? And now we all know all too well how important protecting ourselves from cyber terrorism. And then the shooter problem, which, as you know, in the school districts has become a huge issue, which we'd never even heard of or thought about 6 years ago. How sad. But I must say, I'm leaving my commission with Mary Lou Suter, who is fabulous. And I know that my commissioners are in good hands, and the city is as well. She's detail-oriented. She takes this very seriously. And I have to thank Britt Wilson, who is our staff person, who from the beginning has been incredible, really wonderful to work with. And I look forward to continuing to work with Britt, with the commission, and with Iris. And this is the man who brought me on. So thank you for that.